Hi, I'm Granny, and we're going down the rabbit hole of the moon, episode 2. Last episode, I asked you if you had ever heard of the word lunacy or lunatic. Lunacy, or lunatic, is based on the word luna, a Latin word for moon. Lunacy or lunatic has been referred to people struggling mentally, which I'm really grateful that kinder ways are being adopted now on mental illness. I also find it curious my first 2 episodes were taped during a full moon, including this one. Is it synchronicity? Is it the influence of the moon or an accident? Since Roman times, the ideas that the moon and planets can affect people have persisted. This is also the basis of astrology. Pliny the Elder was a Roman author, naturalist, natural philosopher, army and navy commander. He was born in 23 AD and died in 79 AD. He thought the full moon gave birth to especially heavy nocturnal dew, which caused the brain to become unnaturally moist, leading to madness and epileptic seizures. Moon madness was the belief that sleeping outside under the full moon caused madness. I have slept outside under the full moon more times than I can count. So my question is, what is the protocol for establishing moon madness? Does the moon affect our bodies? Our bodies are 70% water and the earth is 71% water-ish. My research reveals only anecdotal evidence, which is a challenge to confirm. Is it possible that mood madness, lunacy, etc., is encouraged by our attitudes to misbehave on the full moon? I think that topic and men and women werewolves, I will leave for you to chase down. There are over 300,000 craters on the moon. The dark spots on the moon are the result of large meteorites, not oceans as the first observers of the moon named them. It was during the 1700s when observers called the dark spots on the moon names such as Sea of Tranquility, Sea of Storms, Sea of Crises, Eastern Sea, etc. The largest and deepest crater on the moon is called South Pole Aitken Basin with, catch this, a diameter of 1,550 miles and an average depth of 3 to 5 miles. In comparison, Meteor Crater National Landmark in northern Arizona is 0.7 miles in diameter and about 560 feet deep. The large impacts on the moon resulted in meteorites hitting the moon so hard that magma from inside the moon poured out into the craters, filling the basins with dark lava, which then solidified, creating the darker colors. Just like Earth, the moon is geologically active and has moonquakes. Earthquakes generally last a few seconds or minutes, but moonquakes have been known to last up to 30 minutes. But they're much milder. The moon continues to be geologically active, as is the Earth. This made me curious about Earth's influence on the moon. We know moon's influence on the Earth. So when I went down that rabbit hole, I came across scientists believe the moon stays in the Earth's magnetosphere, remember the auroras, for 3 to 4 days a month, directly impacting the lunar surface. So the Earth does affect the moon. A study published in 2011 by Tokyo Institute of Technology described how using low energy ion and electron data observed around the moon, originating from the moon's surface, fluctuating along with the plasmoid/plasma sheet signatures. You need to go into that study to understand that a little bit better. In their study's conclusion, it stated, quote, "The plasmas around the moon observed in the Earth's magnetosphere are gradually unveiling their characteristics. The newly obtained knowledge about the lunar plasma environment must contribute to the understanding of the plasma environment around non-magnetized solar system objects." That was a really interesting study. For at least 15,000 years, people have used the phases of the moon and sun to gauge time, anticipate seasons, used as a navigational tool. Some civilizations created lunar calendars, and some have also included solar calendars. My parents used the Farmer's Almanac to determine when to plant. The almanac contains weather forecasts, planting charts, astronomical data, recipes, articles. Topics include gardening, sports, astronomy, folklore, and predictions on trends and living for the coming year. The Old Farmer's Almanac was founded in 1792. A new version called the Farmer's Almanac was launched in 1818. I still use the almanac. It appears that our large moon stabilizes our orbit and the tilt of our axis and our climate, creating repeatable seasons. That's huge. When we went down the rabbit hole of volcanoes, we learned how the timing of rain and temperature sparked seeds to germinate, which is critical for our survival here on Earth. Our moon stabilizes Earth's orbit, creating the right conditions for our seasons. When we went down the rabbit hole of circadian rhythm, we learned it was the moon which created the circadian rhythm, so critical in humans' health and for all plant and animal life. When Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, he noticed an area that glowed more than the surrounding area. Well, lunar transient phenomena, LTPs, are things people have observed but can't explain. LTPs have been witnessed in glowing areas where the sun doesn't shine. LTPs can last seconds and at other times much longer. Sometimes they cause turbulence in that area. Could there be more than one cause for an LTP? One theory I find really interesting is that it's caused by meteorites, but also another one is off-gassing. That is when minerals within the cooling magma beneath the moon's surface slowly comes to the surface, and it causes flashes when it reaches the surface. The gases released could be scattered by the sun's rays, creating colored hues, and only time and more information will be able to understand that process any better. If you caught the episode on Big Bang, where the scientists went on the roof of their apartment and set up their devices, they sent a laser beam to the moon that within a certain period of time came back to their technological instruments. Well, when Neil Maxwell walked on the moon, the team left behind on the surface of the moon what is referred to as a sensitive reflecting device, and I interpret that as mirror, that can receive a laser beam from the Earth and send it back. The technology, this particular technology, confirmed George Darwin's theory that the moon is moving further away from the Earth. According to an article from BBC Sky at Night in 2018, it referred to a new study that suggests the moon contributes to the maintenance of the Earth's magnetic field. According to the article, the Earth's magnetic field is produced by the motion of the liquid within the core of the Earth. Actually, they specified the outer core of the Earth, and that is made up of liquid iron alloy. As the moon influences tidal effects by deforming the Earth's mantle, it could be stimulating the motion of this liquid iron that some scientists believe helps maintain the Earth's magnetic field. When we went down the rabbit hole of auroras, we learned the Earth's magnetosphere, and now we know that the moon also has a magnetosphere, which scientists believe has at times shielded the Earth from the sun's radiation. In my next episode, we will learn more about the tides of the moon. But does the moon influence our wind on the Earth? Join me next time when Granny goes down the rabbit hole of the moon, episode 3. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you like and subscribe. Thank you.